Etsy SEO in 2018, how's the algorithm changed? These answers are going to surprise you. Hey, I'm Duthie, and I'm here to help you craft your career with creative marketing and artistic inspiration. And it's a Monday, so every Monday I make videos about Etsy tips. So if this is something you're interested in, don't forget, come back every Monday. And before we get started, I just want to ask you guys a question. Do you think the Etsy algorithm has changed in 2018? Do you even know what the search engine algorithm is? So the first thing that is probably going to surprise the lot of you is no, the algorithm hasn't changed. You know, the last time the Etsy algorithm had a massive change was actually back in 2010. Since then, there's just been tweaks to the system. But people are always asking me, Pam, can you do a new video? Can you explain the new changes to the algorithm? And to do that, I had to dig deep and really learn about what the algorithm meant. So firstly, to cover, what is the algorithm? This is if you have a customer who's tapping into the search bar on Etsy looking for something, this is the algorithm that decides what items is going to be shown. So if, like me, you're getting on a bit and you did a bit of programming at school, you might have this kind of idea what the algorithm's like. It's a kind of program. It's a box that you input all the things. So if likes, views and sales are more than that other person's, then you're going to get higher up in the algorithm. And that's kind of simplistic. Now I mentioned before, the last big change was in 2010. Prior to 2010, pretty much this algorithm just meant whatever your tags were, that was what you were going to rank as, and the algorithm just said the very newest listing we'll put at the top, and then when someone else puts a newer listing, that'll go in over the top. So it was ranked only on recency, only on newness. But the problem with that is it took absolutely zero account of what the buyer actually wanted. If you mistagged, if you put the wrong tags in to try and rank in a different search, the algorithm didn't know. If you spent all day renewing your listings, the algorithm still just kept putting you at the front and you had more chance of sales. So people were able to game the system or work the system like that. And so often you would have seen in the forums in the past, people were complaining that their monthly bill came in and their fees for relisting their items did not anywhere near cover the sales. So, although this was a massive change in the algorithm, in the long run it's actually worked out better, because it's very rarely now that people are saying their renewal fees are more than what they're making on the item. So it changed from recency to relevancy. And what exactly does this mean? In the simplest terms, relevancy means how relevant your item is to what the person's searching for. But what it actually means, because let's face it, the Etsy search engine is to make Etsy money. So what it means is, how likely is your item to make Etsy money compared to other people's items? So instead of having this box with put in all these parameters and outcomes you're ranking, what it's really saying is you've got all these parameters, hearts, likes, views, whatever, also including your ranking, and the output is the thing that it's driving the most important weight on is, for all this work, what is the item that's likely to make us the most money? It's as simple as that. That's what the algorithm is. So if you want to know how the algorithm works, the simple answer is nobody knows. That sounds like a really weird thing to say, but we've come to the position with computer intelligence now that basically the algorithm is artificial intelligence. It's constantly adapting, improving. It gets fed a load of metrics. It's told the end goal is to make the most amount of money. So it's evolving, it's changing what it does to see what's going to get the most amount of money. So if trends change, if how people shop changes, then the algorithm should, over time, change to keep up with it. Now, the engineers can tweak certain factors. They can make things weight more or less importantly. For example, a few years back, it was possible to game the system a little bit by playing hearts and shares games in teams. You would basically all sit there and like each other's items. And there was actually some people that were employing other people to play these games 24/7 to get their shops into trending, to get them seen. So obviously this is gaming the system. Etsy doesn't want this. It doesn't want the shops that know how to game the system the best to be number one. It wants the shops that make the most money. So it was able to tweak, not change, just tweak the algorithm to say hearts from teams are weighted less importantly. They're not so important because if someone likes you from a team, they're actually not likely to go to buy your item. So it's far, far more important for a heart from someone finding you organically through search. They're having a look in search, they find you, they heart you. So the engineers are there to help tweak the algorithm, to tweak the weighting of things, to help the algorithm stay ahead of people playing the games. But at the end of the day, these algorithms are not stupid at all. So rather than spending your time trying to figure out how you can trick the algorithm into showing you more, what you really want to be doing is trying to think of ways that you can make your item be more likely to sell. Sure, all the SEO things are super important, getting good titles, tags and descriptions, because this is a boost. This helps the algorithm. You're saying, this is what I think my item's all about. And then the algorithm does all its whiz-bang magic and it looks at it and says, yeah, if I put your item out here, then absolutely, yes, people who are looking for that kind of thing like to buy it. But that's the thing, the people have to be liking to buy it. So if your pictures, descriptions, prices, everything else are really awesome and your item is so cool that people want to buy it, you'll do well. The search engine will boost you up. The algorithm will favour you. Now, Pam, you're going to tell me. I know you are. You're going to say simply, but what about my item? It's been on front page forever, it's doing great, and then all of a sudden it's nowhere. Now, there could be a few reasons for this. It doesn't mean there's been a massive change in the algorithm, and it certainly doesn't mean you need to panic. What it could mean is there's been an influx of new sellers who are fresh and new and exciting. Perhaps they've got some great photography. Perhaps they're just that little bit better than you. Perhaps you've been a little stuck in your ways for a while, and they're just doing better. People like them better, so they're going to get bumped up the search. But that's not a bad thing. Just have a look, search for the search terms you were doing well for, and look at what's there and see how you stand up against the competition. And it's not really for you to decide, it's for your audience to decide, it's for your customers to decide. So if your sales are dropping off when you're getting seen, then perhaps your items or your photography or something, perhaps you're a little dated. Perhaps it's time to revamp that listing a bit. And Etsy has not come out and admitted this, but this is a trend we've been seeing for many years. So quite a few of us came together and came up with the idea that Etsy does a flip sometimes. And this totally makes sense. It seems that sometimes, although even a load of items are doing really, really well, sometimes they're just all switched off. It just drops away to nothing for a little while, and some other listings that had done practically nothing are suddenly up to the top of search. This actually makes sense if you think about it. No matter how clever the algorithm is at the moment, if all the same items are on the front page that have always been on the front page, they all have a much better chance of catching a buyer's eye. So they're going to get lots more hearts, likes, views, comments, whatever else. They're going to get a lot more interaction. They're going to get shared more. They're going to get talked about more. So if you have always the same top 20 items all in the same place, they're going to pull away from all the rest of the competition just simply because of the place they're in. So every now and again it makes sense that Etsy just switches off the views for those shops and trials some more shops for a little while. And the thing is, if those shops don't do as well, don't make as much money for Etsy as your shop that was on the front page did, then you're going to revert back to your first place. No problem at all. So don't panic if it seems like the lights have gone out for a little while. That might be the case. A flip might be happening. And before you say it's not fair, possibly the reason you got on the front page was you were favoured in a flip once, and this meant your item got seen where it didn't necessarily have all the right SEO to get seen, but it got to the front page, and when it was there, it did well, so Etsy kept you there. So they're trialing, they're giving someone else a chance, and if they don't work out, then you'll be back to the top. So the thing to do is not immediately panic. Give it a week or two, and in that time, work on some of your other listings. Because what I found is if I've got some other listings that are possibly written in a slightly different way, have slightly different SEO, then when the one item drops from the front page, another one of my items might get its chance in the sun. So that's another reason why sometimes there's a boost to having quite a lot of listings. You're not having all your eggs in one basket, so when one of them's knocked off the front page, another one's waiting in the wings to take its place. So with all this voodoo magic artificial intelligence, is there actually any way that we can know what the algorithm's looking for? And the answer to that is yes. It's the metrics. It's the metrics that they already give us. So if you look at the metrics that we're already given, we have got hearts, views, sales, when the item was renewed. You get a lot more metrics in your promoted listings, but these are all things that Etsy are taking into account. So your click-through rate, that is the number of times that Etsy shows you on a page where someone's searching, the number of times they're actually clicking on your item. And equally, the most important metric is going to be your sell-through rate. For every time that someone does a search and your item is shown in that search bar, if they click on it and buy it, that is the most important metric. So absolutely everything you can do to encourage people when they see you to click and buy is a fantastic thing. And this is really great. This metric means that no matter how big or small your shop is, you will have a chance. If your shop's tiny and just been open one day and you struggle and you manage to get your shop to the front page of a search using the good SEO, if you haven't already, check out some of my videos for starting a new shop. It is possible to rank, and if you actually get yourself ranking there and people like your item and buy it a lot and it makes lots of money for Etsy, then you in your brand new shop are going to do well. You're going to get boosted up the SEO, the algorithm's going to love you. So has the algorithm changed? Yes and no, but basically we don't need to chase tips and tricks and cheats to try and win. If you have an item that's going to make Etsy a lot of money through lots of sales, people love it, it's a great item, then Etsy's going to love you back. So I hope that helped. If it did, don't forget, click on my wee face to subscribe, check out the videos that YouTube wants you to watch, and come back every Monday. Thank you so much.